Hello, Eric.
Oh,
How are
good
you?
morning. Good morning, Kombou.
Good
How
morning.
are you, man? What's happening?
I'm great, thank you. Almost healthy and ready to chat about knives.
I can't wait. So I say good morning. It is morning for me, but it's about afternoon for you, huh?
That's right, the time difference is huge, but we finally met for our chat, so I'm very happy.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to this. So while I'm here in the United States, you're over in Poland, which is why we have the time difference here. So, well, let's get into this. So I'm going to say it's Grzegorz Grabarski, but I know I'm pronouncing that a little bit wrong. How would you pronounce your first name?
My first name is Grzegorz, and RZ is Z in Polish.
Gotcha.
It's a very
gotcha.
exotic for everybody because Polish language is very difficult and it sounds really different than other languages.
So Grzegorz, like that.
Grzegorz.
Grzegorz. I will practice that.
Oh,
But
almost perfect.
But really, the translation to English is pretty much Greg.
Yes, that's right. You can call me Greg. Everybody calls me Greg, so I'm absolutely fine with that short version.
Well, I'll tell you what. Instead of Greg, I'm probably going to call you Kombou. So Kombou is, I would say, it's your designer name. How'd you come up with that name?
Oh, Kombou is something that came for me suddenly. I was looking for a short and strong word because my first name and surname are pretty difficult for international audience. So I had to find a nice word which defined me, and it was Kombou. Something pretty universal. I don't know. I have no idea what that mean. So I like this word, and it stuck to me, and it's
Nice.
just like that.
And was born Kombou.
Yes, straight of nowhere.
No, that's cool, man. Excellent. Well, so let's get into this. So, I mean, you are a gear photographer. You're a husband. You're a father. You're a knife designer. You began designing knives, what, back in about 2014, is it?
Yes, that's right. That was about 2014 when I, let's say, decided to show my designs to the community.
Nice.
Because I'm drawing knives from the young age. But it was only for fun, and I found that I can design knives. That was great, right time and right place to do it.
Nice. So, well, right now, currently, you're mainly a designer for Bestech Knives, but what other brands have you worked with in the past?
Yes, I'm let's say exclusively designer for Bestech Knives right now.
Okay.
For about 3 years. But before that, I have 2 journeys with other brands makers. The first one was Rafał Brzeski. His name is BRR Knives, and he's a Polish knife maker who helped me a lot at the beginning, and he made my first design I've ever released, and it was a Buvaya knife, this one. Some folks can know this shape because there was a lot of this in internet. And yes, that was my, and he made 10 custom pieces of this knife, and that was all. So the knife was not for buy for many years.
Yep. Nice. So what was the original one made out of? What were the materials?
That was titanium, and I guess it was an Elmax steel.
Oh, wow.
This is actually prototype of a custom knife. And like I said, it was only 10 made, so I don't know where these knives are right now. But BRR started to make his own designs, and that was my first collaboration. Regarding the Buvaya, the interesting fact is that this knife will be available as a production model in 2022, because we with Bestech decided to, we had so many requests for that knife for being made that we decided to make a full production version. And the knife, this design has 5 or 6 years and it's still polarized, everybody. And I think a lot of guys will want to try Buvaya in their collection. So stay tuned for more info.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that catches my attention with that, you have a pretty straightforward drop point design on the front, which is nice. And it looks like it's going to have a good full bodied handle for a full grip. So it looks like it'll be a nice mix between sort of a, utility driven and a good everyday carry knife.
I hope so. The most important thing that it's crazy looking.
I love it, man. Nice. The Buvaya.
Buvaya, yes. That means the crocodile in Filipino language.
Aha. Interesting.
The second one, I can say, it was very important for me. It was collaboration with Custom Knife Factory. And it was about 2016. I don't have this knife with me because I wasn't prepared for this question.
No, that's okay.
The name of this knife was Bragga, B-R-A-G-G-A. And that was my first. And for now, last collaboration with Custom Knife Factory. That's because I started full-time with Bestech. I had a lot of designs and I was looking for somebody who can materialize as many my ideas as possible. So Bestech is perfect for that.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, but they definitely move fast. There's no doubt about that. So nice. So, okay, well, my question is, you said you started drawing knives at an early age, but at what point did you really get into the hobby of knives? I mean, how did this entire hobby for knives start? The serious hobby started around 2010. After many years, when I was a child, knives in Poland wasn't so popular, and they had really bad PR, like weapons or something like that. Right.
And it wasn't look good when a young kid was collecting knives. Nobody was doing that. And I was living in a city and I have many different hobbies, but I always drawing knives and guns because
you're a kid and you're a boy, and that's what kids and boys do.
But I don't know why it was kind of rooted in my DNA, because it came so naturally. I wasn't drawing cars, I wasn't drawing people, I was drawing knives and guns. I don't know why. It was very natural. And your question was about how it started. And it started around 2010 when I met first serious knife collector. It was a friend of a friend, and he showed me the beauty of collecting knives and using them. And he told me that knives are mostly legal in Poland, and I can collect, buy, and carry whatever I want without being, judged for that.
Nice.
And I immediately bought my first knife. It was a cheap Balisong, and it broke in 2 days, but it was, I will never forget it.
Awesome. Well, so how many knives do you think you have in your collection now?
Now, to be honest, I sold or give away all my knives from past, almost all, because I have too many prototypes and final pieces of knives made with Bestech.
Yeah. It's a nice shift in your collection, I'll tell you that. The day you're able to trade in all the other designers for your own designs, that's a good day.
Yes, that was necessary because I was in a need of money, and it helped me a lot. I sold all my collection, and now I collect my own knives. Which
I love it.
sounds-
I appreciate that. That's awesome. So that's cool. Let me ask you, so who would you say is your biggest influence for your designs? I mean, do you have any particular designers that you like, or I mean, is it some other like life experience? What is it that really leads you to how your designs come out?
I think the first person was a well-known knife maker, Mr. Lil, who designed original Rambo survival knife.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really beautiful, with crazy lines, with, it was something, it was a big spark for me in a childhood. And then after I found this hobby once again and started to collect, I started with CRKT. They were pretty affordable and really nice. Yeah. And my favorite designer for CRKT was Mr. Ken Onion.
Absolutely. So, nice.
He is for sure my second hero.
Nice.
And somebody who, influence for my lines and all this. And
that's
also
cool.
The third, maybe not one designer, but a brand, it was CKF, Custom Knife Factory, with their great Slavic designers from Russia and Belarus, with Mr. Konigin and Mr. Tochus. And they also for sure influence what I do right now.
Nice. No, that's awesome. I'm also a big Ken Onion fan, so it's cool that you said that. And obviously an iconic designer, a huge influence on the industry as a whole. So it's really cool to hear that you, even being overseas, has had that kind of influence from a guy like Ken Onion. So very, very, very cool. I like that.
That's right.
Nice.
Very, very organic, but pretty crazy lines. That's what I like.
Fantastic, man. So, well, let's turn the corner a little bit. I want to talk about your logo, because I think if there are people that are familiar with you, they still might not understand what they're looking at with your logo. And when I figured it out, I was like, oh my God, this guy is a genius. How did you come up with your logo, and explain to people what it is? Okay,
it's kind of Easter egg. And the goal was to not to be visible at the first contact. Everything what I do, it has to be, something you can discover day by day. Another detail, like you said, what was I wasn't expected that. And I will show you something. My logo is this, right? And it's look like a shish kebab or something, but it's an ambigram. When you turn it like this, you can clear read Kombou, and when you turn it upside down, it's exactly the same.
It's unbelievable. When I saw that, I freaked out, and I ran up to my wife and I was like, look at this. You have to see this. And she knows I'm into knives and stuff, but she kind of doesn't get it all.
Hear that.
But I was like, you have to see this.
Greetings for your wife.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, man. And I don't know how you come up with some of the stuff you do, but I mean, and it's like the vision for that, the understanding, the technical ability, the graphics. It's deeply intellectual, and I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I like to complicate things as much as possible. And I have to be clear, ambigram isn't something I invent, or I used something called ambigram creator to find what can I do with shapes to have something like this. So I help myself with a great tool for that. But the final effect is my own idea, and I think there will be lot of surprises when somebody will see that and say, "Hey, it's actually says Kombou." So yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
great you discovered that.
Yeah.
I'm very happy you discovered it.
Well, I think they're going to see that when they get into your knife design, it's very similar in that way. It has that intellectual design. It has a lot of forward thinking. Now, I am going to quiz you to see what you know. And I've looked through all of your designs. Which one knife in the Bestech lineup that you've designed does not have your logo on it?
I'm not sure about one, but I think there was a moment when there was 2 or 3 runs of my knives with only Bestech logo.
Yep.
But I don't remember which one was that. What knife are you talking about?
The one that I believe is the Camoza. Now, I did have
Camoza.
the Maruca and the Webra, which my models didn't have them, but I looked at the Bestech website and I saw that they have since put them on. But I believe the Camoza still needs your logo.
Okay, so let me tell you the story behind that. I hope Bestech don't mind, but when I made first 3 knives for Bestech, it was Ornetta, this one, Ornetta, and it has my logo, and it was also Eskra and Fanga, the Bowie, Crazy Bowie, and that was all those 3 was the collaborations with Bestech brand. And after those 3 collaborations, Bestech offered me to work full time as a designer for them. This is Fanga, Ornetta, and Eskra. That's right, that's trio. Tres Delincuentes. And after that, Bestech offered me to work full time, and we started to prepare Camoza, Maruca, and Vibra. And they asked me, "Hey, since you are a Bestech designer, do we have to put your logo on the clip side, or maybe we don't have to do it anymore?" And my answer was, "Okay, just do whatever is best for you." And I thought to myself, I think the logo is a good idea. And eventually, Bestech realized that it has to be on the knives. And I hadn't do anything. The customers and fans who found no logo on these 3 models, write to Bestech, "Hey, Bestech, why there is no designer logo? Those 2 brands work together very well, and they promote together each other."
That's right.
And Bestech made another runs of those 3 knives because they sold very good, and all another runs of these knives have my logo on a blade on clip side, and every knife in future, except Dama steel blades, will have these both logos on the blade.
Nice. No, that makes sense. And, I know that logos and markings and knife customers are finicky. Sometimes they want a clean blade. Other times they don't mind the logos. And, and I know for a company like Bestech, who's, they've now made a nice mark in the industry, but for a while, they're trying to find their way through it. They're trying to figure out what works for them and what meets with their customer base. And on top of that, trying to learn who Kombou is and if you're going to become a key part of the team. So, of course, those types of business decisions are being made behind the scenes. So I thought it was interesting to bring that fact up. And I did notice the fact that your logo happens to be on the clip side on all of the models. So it's cool that we covered your first 3 models. So just real quick to recap that. The Ornetta. So here, the Ornetta, which was very first Bestech model that when I started, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but when I started getting involved with Bestech, this was the first one that really called out to me. And when I saw it and I felt it, I was like, okay, there's something special here. The Eskra. Yeah, absolutely, man. The Eskra. So this was the second model, right? So the Ornetta and the Eskra. And right when I started getting involved with Bestech, you had just come out in, pretty short time with the Fanga And then I know you
Yes.
were moving towards the Camoza, which I happened to cover at the booth at Blade Show, and actually it was SHOT Show in 2020.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I covered that knife there when it was very first released, and we saw it for the very first time, which is pretty cool. So those are your oldest models, but I don't want to go too far without talking about your newest model. Let's cover that real quick.
Okay. Let me show you something very fresh, because it's just landed at the dealers and just a few days ago, and it's the smallest knife in all my lineup. The name for this knife is Nuke, from nuclear weapon, nuclear bomb, and it's pretty small, but crazy knife, which is full EDC friendly. It has multiple grips and multiple openings methods, and the blade is under 3 inches, which make it legal in some parts of world. Not allowed big blades. The inlay is from red marbled carbon fiber, and the blade is hand-wrapped satin. You can finger flick it, you can open it for different ways, and it's such small that it fits in middle size hand. So yeah, the small guy for small knives enthusiasts, but it's really you can do a lot of things with that. So
the first thing that caught my attention, which I like, and
you have it. Right.
Well, I'm always drawn to a utility-driven and utility-purpose knife. I think for me, and I'm just, to say it, kind of like the fixed blade wilderness type of guy, but I always have a folder with me, and my folders are very much utility-driven purpose. So to have something that's nice and compact, gives you multiple grips, which I love the fact that it has the finger choil on there, which does a few things for you, but really allows you to get further up on the blade. Again, those multiple grips. So like if I had to dig out a splinter or, even,
Yes.
Everybody opens packages with their folding knives. Just to have that little bit of a forward grip is nice. And the other thing I like is I'm going to call it medium jimping. It's not super mild, but it's not super aggressive. It's right in the middle where it gives you like a nice positive grip. It doesn't tear up your thumb, but it feels really good.
Thank you. Great to hear that. And functional finger choil was must have in this knife because it's pretty short. It gives a full grip for a middle-sized hand, but if you want something more precise, you can choke it like this, and it's pretty nice. I use it in kitchen and to open boxes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like every mall ninja does.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the key with an EDC. It's something that you literally have always with you. Now, let's talk about Bestech's model numbers real quick. So this happens to be the BT2107, and the one I have is the C. So just talk about Bestech's naming just real quick so that people can understand how their model lines work.
I believe that you are prepared more than me in that, because to be honest, I'm not a numbers guy, and that's why I call my knives names, Eskra, Maruka, Buvaya, because I not use the numbers. There are 3 lines: BG, BL, and
the BT.
And the BT. That's right. And I'm using names for that. So
the interesting thing is they're always named by year. So here the BT, so the T being the premium line, the L is kind of a middle line, which they haven't fully developed yet. And then the G is, and I hate to use the word budget, but the BG is their budget line. Budget makes it sound cheap, and they are not, or cheaply made, and they are not. They are nice, high quality, and I would say good value knives.
But how can we call them instead of calling them budget?
I don't
How
know.
can we call them?
We'll have to come up with economy doesn't sound good either. We'll come up with a nice line, maybe value, the value line. But
Okay.
BT 21 being 2021 and 07. Well, I think this is their seventh model of the year. And so here being the C model, each variant has a different letter. So the C here, you can see my carbon fiber inlay is a little bit different. My satin blade and satin finish is a little bit different. You have a couple of different variants over there too, right?
Absolutely. You explained me a lot right now, so I will be smarter now. And you know, I always get 2 or 3 pieces of final product, and I don't own every finish. Bestech make a lot of different finishes.
Huge numbers. Yeah.
Huge numbers. And I think they're doing great because just looking at those 2 finishes, this one is full black with some dramatic, you know, coral G10.
That's
and,
cool.
Golden ring. And it's, you know, more tactical, more user-friendly than this one, which has a hand-wrapped satin and very gentle brown anodization. They are very different, and they have a very different effect on pictures, you know. So
yeah, and it's going to call out to a different customer, which is nice. You have that variety, so to each their own, and it fits a different user profile, which is nice.
I have on my desk another model, which I have more than 2 different finishes to show, but I can show you now or I can show you later. How do you prefer?
Pull it right up.
This is Noggart. Noggart, my favorite knife from last year. And Noggart means dragon spelled backward. And it's a very dragonish, crazy knife. And as you may see, this version has a black wash and natural canvas micarta on inlays, which imitates a dragon skin. That was my idea for that. And you have something like this, but if you don't like black wash, if you prefer something else, you can have your hand-wrapped satin version.
That's my favorite one. I love that version. That's beautiful.
Great to hear that. So you have a hand-wrapped satin and the crazy, you know, like I don't know how to call it, but it's black washed element, and you have natural gray titanium with red marble carbon fiber. So this is the second version. But if you want something extra, you can go for limited edition with Damascus and Damascus. It's hard to show it because it's so shiny. But yes, you can go with that and put it in your drawer and clean it. You know, you don't have to use your knives. Just do whatever makes you happy.
That is beautiful. Well, it's funny you say you don't necessarily have to use your knives, but I'll tell you, and in full honesty, when I first saw the Noggart, I was like, I don't know. It's a wild design. It's a little bit out there. I didn't know how I felt about it, but I saw Nick Stasa do a review on this, and as soon as I saw it, it started to grow on me, and I get my hands on a lot of your models, and this was sitting in the box, and it was just going to stay in the box because I have to maintain some inventory here. But I said, this one has to live in my pocket. And I can tell you, I am a knife reviewer. I carry hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different knives, and this did not leave my pocket for well over 2 months, which is if I have a knife in my pocket for more than a couple of days, it's a shock. And this stayed in my pocket for more than a couple of months. I love this knife. It is fantastic for so many reasons, and the design just absolutely grew on me. And I literally love this knife. It is awesome.
Thank you very much. That was such a kind words.
I'm glad I put it in my pocket.
But I'm very happy to be polarized. You know, I'm not for everybody, and I know it because I make things complicated and sometimes over designed and sometimes too crazy. You know, for some aesthetics. But I'm really happy that you found. It's like you discovering something. Not everything at once, but step by step, day by day. And I would have to say that my Noggart, this one with micarta, is not leaving my pocket also since vacation, so since summer. It has also great fidget factor. Because the action on this one is so smooth, I can't stop flipping that, and it has multiple opening methods.
Yes,
very well done design. I'm not super happy. I'm never 100% happy with my designs, but this one is very close to satisfaction for me.
No, that's good. Yeah, you deserve it, man. It was well done. So I noticed too that on a lot of your names and early on, you ended everything in an A. I was worried for a while all your names would end in an A, but you seem to have branched off from that.
Noggart, Falco, and Nuke. So I started, it's like I was out of cool names with Finnish A. So that's why I started to use other Finnish letters. So
that's got to be hard to come up with a whole bunch of them ending in the A. But yeah, I mean, early on, Eskra, Fenga, Erida, Camoza, Costa, Maruka. I mean, you got a lot of Ornetta. I mean, that Webra, a ton of them. I don't know how you did it, man, but you did.
Yes, it's harder and harder every new release to find a name, to find the perfect new lines, to find a new blade shape, which wasn't shown. It has to fit to line up. It has to be one style, but it can't be too similar, you know, because we don't want to make similar knives.
Consistent through the line, yet a variation. You're right.
Yes,
you're right.
Crazy variation, small, big, whatever you want, but all in Kombou style.
Nice.
All crazy.
Love it, man. Well, nice work.
Thank you.
So you used an interesting word. And I want to talk about that word. You said the word polarizing. Now, you have a very specific design aesthetic. It is definitely going to appeal to some people. It's not going to appeal to others. What is it, do you think, about your design elements that make your designs polarizing?
They are crazy. They are not simple. They are not clean. There is a lot of collectors who appreciate clean, simple lines, classic stuff, and I really respect that. But my taste is completely different. I play a lot of video games, and in the world of video games, all the words created by creators are very rich in details, and they are crazy, you know, out of this world. I always like overbuilt knives. I always like crazy lines, and but as long as they look good. But because sometimes you can make something really crazy, but really ugly. And we are talking about something when this craziness is defend itself.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm not for everybody. I have some haters. They are very polite. They are saying that, but I don't care. A lot of people like my style, and I'm not fighting with myself and doing what I feel. And I feel crazy. Crazy lines, and Bestech seems to like it a lot. And
yeah, they turn your vision into a very functional product that has an aesthetic that works. And sometimes it's a matter of finding the ways that your different elements separate themselves. Sometimes it's a texture, sometimes it's a color, sometimes it's the way that the handle flows into the blade. And it's funny because earlier you talked about how sometimes you like to overcomplicate things. And I learned that about you early because actually you and I co-designed a fixed blade. And it was one of the first things you said to me is I'm going to go a little far and overcomplicate things. And it's funny because I'm the opposite. I go for a very simple functionality. And you know what? I think that little bit of a yin and a yang actually works out. So
absolutely.
And I'm hoping Bestech will work on that fixed blade design because I would love to see that.
I hope it too. There was some problem with fixed blades.
Yep.
I have some fixed blades already prototyped, but Bestech seems to focus on folding knives right now, and that's what I do best. And but I'd love to finish our project, and I'd love to participate in Bestech fixed blades lineup in next year. So yeah.
Hey, if you have any influence on them, let me know. That'll be fun.
I will send them this interview and they will know what's going on. So.
Exactly. Well, so, I mean, we're spending a lot of time talking about Bestech, and I think this is pretty important. Talking about polarizing, again, Chinese manufacturing itself can be very polarizing, especially here in the United States. So for everybody watching, how do you feel about Chinese manufacturing, and keeping in mind, especially the fact that we're talking about Bestech?
Okay, so that might sound, weird, but I'm first of all, I am citizen of Earth. I don't care if somebody is race, country, skin color, or gender. I'm on the level that I don't care about that. I care about if people are good or bad. And guys from Bestech, they are marriage. And they are one of the best people I've ever met.
I know.
They are great friends, and they are very sensitive people, but also they are great businessmen. And I couldn't imagine better teammates for materializing my visions.
Yes. I agree.
And I know there's politics involved and history involved, but I completely don't give a shit about it, because I can have best friends in China, and I can have a worst enemy, on my street,
right,
just around the corner.
I know.
I think all people should be very tolerant and don't go with the crowd who is trying to disconnect people, disconnect these beautiful things. And I just want to finish that globalization is one of the best things I've have in my life, because we have a designer from Poland, made with a Chinese company, and posted on American social media, and guy from Africa, from Russia, or from Netherlands can buy it, and we have all world invited in this process, and that's very exciting for me.
You're right.
I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
For living the dream.
No, I'm glad you said that. And that is one of the things that I've really learned. And I've said the entire time, maybe Bestech knives are technically manufactured in China, but they are really a global company, and you nailed it. Not to mention, people don't talk about the fact that they're buying, German steel or United States-based micarta. The micarta that's used on a lot of Bestech knives, I worked with Bestech corporate to help them source it from United States sources. So it is a global company.
Absolutely.
you know, that's the way this works. And I agree also about the fact that you can have really great friends and great acquaintances around the world. And quite honestly, if it wasn't for this, you and I wouldn't be talking today. And look what this does. I mean, almost a world apart, yet at the same time, we're here in the same place at the same time, which is fantastic.
I really appreciate the times we live in, really. And I try to focus on positive side of this world, which is pretty hard to live in, but it has very many positive sides, and then we can use them, you know, to create our passions into a way of living. Man, I work 9 to 5 doing my 2 greatest passions, and I earn good money and also help the community by spreading my designs to world. That's something I'm very grateful for. So,
no, it's awesome. Yeah. No, fantastic. So the reason why I'm involved with Bestech in the first place, I mean, apart from doing my videos and reviews, I get into the U.S. service and warranty claims work. And that's something that I've come to greatly enjoy. I mean, you know, every company is going to have some issues. Not everything's perfect, although I have to say, for the most part, the Bestech manufacturing's been absolutely fantastic. But customers have questions or concerns from time to time. That's another piece of this that I've come to greatly enjoy, is the ability to connect to other customers, you know, across the United States. I extend into the Canadian territory, which is nice. You have a lot of those interactions on the European market side too, right?
That's right, absolutely. And I think that the quality that Bestech bring to the table is absolutely great. I couldn't live and work with somebody who made my designs into shitty products, you know. Yeah. So I'm also very happy that when I receive the final product, it's so well made. The fit and finish is, oh man, it's never 100% perfect, because I have huge expectations, but they are really top notch. Yeah. Amazing.
It's really nice to see the quality coming out, and as we've said the whole time, taking your vision and turning it to life. So, I mean, we covered your Bestech work, your earliest designs. We covered your most recent designs, talked a bunch about your relationship with Bestech. So what's next for Kombou? What's the next step? What should we be expecting to see?
Okay, so I have already, for last 3 years, I have already accomplished 12 designs. And that's a pretty nice number for a designer. But that's not my last word, because I have another 12 in the preparation. and I hope they will be as good or better than previous. So my plans for next 2 or 3 years are new releases from Bestech.
Nice.
And I'm also drawing new ones and trying to figure out something fresh, which is not easy after so many released knives, because right. The possibilities are shrinking. You have to use you have to really try hard to make something different and fresh all the time. But yep. I have a few aces in my sleeve, so I'm pretty happy and pretty calm for next 2 weeks. And what I love to do in next years is traveling, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know how it will be because of, you know, the Rona, and I hope to get to the USA and to participate in Blade Show or some other US show, to meet face to face with with customers, fans, reviewers, and other makers, because I think this is one of the essences of this hobby.
Yeah.
And I miss it. Without that, it's not 100% full. So, yeah, I hope for traveling. 22, 23. Let's see what the world will be.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you come, we're going to go grab that beer we've talked about, right?
Yes, absolutely. I really can't wait, because traveling is something rooted in every person. In human being needs to travel, because you have to catch another perspective to grow as a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as easy when you are in dark, nerdy cave with your monitors. I have like 4 or 5 monitors inside, and sometimes I feel like a caveman.
Yeah. No, you like you said, get that perspective and a little bit of a different inspiration while you're out there. And yeah, man, I mean, I really hope to catch up with you and the entire Bestech team up in the near future as things settle down. And I'm really excited to see what you continue to come up with. So it's been a nice journey, sort of watching you evolve up until this point. It's been fantastic to get to know you, get to know the rest of the Bestech team. I'm excited to have these opportunities and the ability to collaborate together. I'd like to think that this is just the beginning of a nice long journey. So Kombou, man,
absolutely,
this has been fantastic, and I absolutely, I'm thankful for your time today. So and your time with my audience. So
thank you.
Nice.
It was great talking to you, Eric, and great.
Appreciate it.
I absolutely like it.
So, all right. Well, till the next time.
Thank you very much. See ya.
Bye.